Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from Puerto Vallarta, from Jalisco, from the country, from all over the world that have anything to do with Mexico or Puerto Vallarta. And we look for the ones that have the possibility of enlightening us more about Mexico, our culture, the way we live, the way we think, what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. And we take a look at your comments, your questions, ideas, topics, suggestions, anything we can get our hands on so that we can all in turn have a better quality of life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. Now, how's that for an extended introduction? We get together every day except for Sundays. If this is the first time that you join us, please feel free to let us know. By writing the word new in your comments. We'll get to the comments in the second half of the program. But if you have anything that is truly important for you to bring up during the broadcast, please let us know by adding the letter Q at the beginning of your comment. Today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And it is May 14th. Where is our Thank God It's Friday cheer? I think I have it here. Bam! Luna, get up and dance.
God, it's
Exactly. Luna did not feel like dancing. Let us find out if Anthony Faucci feels like dancing, and that'll make sense in a little while with one of the news items that I have for you today, which also include good news for vaccine seniors that are waiting for second vaccines in Banderas Bay, in Bahia de Banderas. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what happens after the wildfire, after the wildfires. I was going to say after the wild farts, but no, there's no wild farting going on today, although it's Friday. You never know. What else do we have? Dancing. Yes, we have dancing, street closures. We have news about cruises. We have a little bit of this. And of course, we have our Walking Wednesday walk that didn't happen on Wednesday because of plumbing problems. But we'll have an artsy walk today. But first, let us dive into the news and take it from there. Well, as I mentioned just a second ago, folks living north of the border, that is north of the border between the state of Jalisco and the state of Nayarit, folks that are seniors that received the first dose of the Sinovac vaccine can now get the second dose starting tomorrow. There are 9 strategic points that have been designated throughout the entire municipality that are outlined in this article that I will share with you in the show notes today. This is good news. This is good news. We still don't have any news about the vaccines here in the state of Jalisco or here in Puerto Vallarta for those that are between the ages of 50 and 59. I would imagine the government or our governor has been quite busy putting out wildfires and um, putting out the cartel in more than one way. So let us hope that this is going to happen sometime in the near future. And speaking of wildfires, let me come back to the big screen. Wildfires happen because people are stupid, as in somebody went up to the woods and lit a cigarette and didn't kill their match or something. Wildfires happen because it's hot and things start burning, I suppose. But wildfires also start when people are preparing the land for planting new crops. And these crops may or may not be authorized. It's not like in Mexico, you can simply decide, okay, I'm going to turn the forest behind my house into a patch where I'm going to plant my own tomatoes. This is not allowed, at least not in large scale. So it was quite surprising that after all the fires that appeared in this particular spot in the state called La Primavera, and it was one of the places where the wildfires went out of control. The fires were put out, and all of a sudden, a number of freshly planted agaves appeared out of nowhere at that spot. Needless to say, as I mentioned before, it is illegal to just change the use of soil without a permit. Plus, in addition to that, there is Consejo Regulador del Tequila in Mexico, which is the Tequila Regulatory Council that is in place, and they also get involved in the process. You cannot just decide, I'm going to plant some agave in my backyard, because agave happens to be the plant that is associated with the making of tequila. Well, you cannot just decide to start doing this. So if those fires were started by some moron that decided they would start planting agaves on their own, and they became such a dangerous thing, and they changed the quality of air, and they put a lot of firefighters into work to protect the rest of us, well, I can only imagine that somebody is not sleeping well because something must be in their conscience. And that's my 2 cents added to that. I have good news for folks that are living in the United States. Apparently, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, says that now you don't have to wear masks. Excuse me. You don't have to wear masks indoors if you have been vaccinated. This is great news for folks that are north of the border. Let us just hope that folks that come down south of the border realize that these guidelines apply to the United States, not to Mexico. We are presently going through a different phase. And let us again hope that when folks realize they're here in Mexico, imagine that all of a sudden in Mexico, what are they doing in Mexico in terms of guidelines? Well, let me help you. Here, we are wearing face masks everywhere we go. You are expected to wear face masks indoors until further notice. So, Mazel tov if you are in the States, but if you come to Mexico, kindly make it easier for businesses and make it easier for those of us that live here to regulate the guidelines by abiding by local guidelines. And that's our heavy news. Let us dive into the weather, and let us dive into a couple of other headlines before we go for a little walk. Meteorology has an awful lot in common with Scientology. Go figure. Today is 28 degrees. It feels like 31. Humidity is high at 68%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit is 83. And our weather forecast for today is that today is going to be humid and partly cloudy with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 23. Tomorrow we can expect a clear day with a high temperature of 32 and a low temperature of 22. And on Sunday, we can expect a clear day again, high temperature of 33, low temperature of 22. 33 is becoming the norm. When are we going to rise up to the 34-degree benchmark? Hopefully not in a few weeks. So there you go. Let's see what else we have. Well, this is quite funny. At least it's funny to me. It's clear to me that if I had any hopes to marry Hugo López-Gatell, it won't happen because he has absolutely no dancing skills. I have to have a husband that can dance. As it turns out, Hugo López-Gatell is now, because he's in his 50s, and in Mexico City, they're already vaccinating people in their 50s. He went to get his vaccine, and he was encouraged to go to dance to Gloria Gaynor, because apparently at this particular location, to keep people entertained and cheered through the process of waiting, they break into dance. So there's this video of Hugo López-Gatell dancing to "I Will Survive." I wonder if Anthony Faucci can keep up his own steps. Of course, I'm not saying anything about his scientific skills, but dancing, I don't know. But anyhow, I'm going to leave this video for you to watch. In the show notes, you will notice that my dear Hugo López-Gatell just cannot keep his beat in any way, shape, or form. But hey, kudos for trying. I also want to let you know that street closings continue in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. It's good to see that Zapal has been so freaking busy fixing up the plumbing pipes and all that good stuff. Now it is the street of Francisco y Madero, which will be closed starting today and will remain closed until the end of the weekend. So if you need to be driving in the neighborhood, just be mindful of this. Things may not go in the way you expect them to go, or the direction of traffic might be changed in surrounding streets. So so here we go. There is I'm actually happy that all these repairs get done, because once the weather starts changing and it starts to rain, hopefully this will also help in the way in which water flows from the mountains to the ocean. And the last bit of news that I want to share with you has to do with cruise ships. Again, this headline caught my attention. Princess Cruises continues to work with U.S. authorities to resume their operation. And just in case you were wondering, it is not expected that we will see any cruises docking here in Puerto Vallarta until after August the 21. Needless to say, this does not make a big difference for most of us because we're not going on a cruise. But for those people whose livelihood has been affected for the lack of cruises, this has been a sad situation, and hopefully this will resume when it's meant to resume. Before I dive into your comments, how about we go on an artsy walk? Let me set this up. Going once, going twice. Let's samba. Hello everyone. Right now we are crossing Matamoros at Libertad Street, and we're about to wander inside of Arte Viviente, this artist co-op where allegedly 50 artists sell their wares. We're going to go shopping here and see if we find something that strikes our fancy. Hello, Marcia.
Hello, Mr. Ryan.
Oh my goodness, how nice to see you. Let me take a nice photograph of you.
Lunch.
1, 2, 3. Buen provecho. Do you mind if I have a look?
Please do.
I'll be back and visit.
Lovely.
Okay, so here we are. This is Arte Viviente. Look at all the chingaderas you can buy here. My God. There's jewelry. And how many flights?
How many what?
How many floors?
4.
There are 4 floors
Undoubtedly 2.
of chingaderas, and I mean that in the best possible way.
where we're going to take a look at some of the work that creative locals are making. Some for fun, I'm sure, some for business, I'm sure. There's some paintings there. And there is my reflection on the wall. But look at, there's some spices here. Green tea, teas of different kinds, and artisan coffee. My goodness. Now this shop, if I recall correctly, used to be in El Centro, but now they've moved over here. From what I hear, and having a conversation with Marcia about this is a much better location. Check it out, digestive formula. I should have had that yesterday when I was having a direct connection to the plumbing system, but you don't need to know that. Let's go downstairs and find out what we find. Okay, lots of paintings. And downstairs we find, oh, there's enormous tin Christmas tree that people sometimes are looking for. I recognize this. This looks like some of the jewelry that Marcia makes.
Go, Marcia!
Let's take a photograph. More paintings. And mirrors. These are hand painted. There I am. There we are. This is what I look like, by the way.
Hello,
when we're doing the walking tours. But it's nice to see all these hand painted things. More different types of paint, of paintings rather. Oh, a crochet piece. This is dear to my heart. There you go. We don't know who made that, but I can relate to that.
Sun catcher.
So this was the basement level. Let us go back to the main level. And go back. Another, oh my God, check out these magnetic, they seem to be magnetic, but look at these itty bitty paintings that I just found here. They're small, and I bet they're not very expensive, which leads me to imagine that you will find stuff here for many different types of budgets, which is desirable. So we're moving up one level above street level. And, oh, this is a beautiful space. Check it out. Clothes. Don't know if these are new or used. They're probably used, which is fine. Crochet. Oh my goodness. Look at that. And it's expensive. Well,
but worth every peso.
I think it's expensive only because I can make it. But these are beautiful. No, I wouldn't wear them. But
Maybe
they are really, really, really cool. I wonder where she gets her yarn. That's beautiful yarn. Shopping bags. Shopping bags are important in anyone's life here in Puerto Vallarta. You can find these here. Look at this funky piece of furniture. Now, I'm not going to be able to do it justice because of the sun that is shining in. But look at that. You can find these pieces unfinished out on the street. But it's nice to see that somebody's being creative with them. Here's another table that was hand-painted. These are totally cool.
I love those tables.
Let's take a photo. Bam. Wow. Great selection of stuff. Let's take a quick look. Oh, wow.
I love
this is
that.
a very unique piece. Very, very cool. Let's go up another level. Ah, it is warm out today, by the way. Now, that is really funky. Look at this painting. It has, from the front you cannot see it, but if I look at it slightly from the side, it's got an actual 3D torso
It's got protruding
attached
boobs.
to it. How crazy is that? And up here, at the top level, even more furniture, even more paintings. All kinds of good stuff. And there is more. Is there more? My goodness. This is a dead end. But there is definitely artwork everywhere for anyone to look at, for anyone to shop. And now, let's go downstairs and check in with Marcia.
Marcia.
Just to see how things are going with the project. Oh, nice. I missed some photographic pieces here. These are actual photographs. Beautiful work. At least they look like photographs. Yeah, they are photographs. Anyhow.
February 1st. What is it? Oh, thank God. It was
Oh, and here are more of those painted tables, which are absolutely delightful. Very nice work. Hello.
the clothes. They're designed by various people.
And there she goes.
Carolyn Delmar.
Marcia has gotten some clients, which is a good thing. I'm going to see if we can touch base very quickly and have a brief conversation with her. While we do that, yet another hand-painted piece of furniture, which is just beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Again, this is Arte Viviente. I'll make sure to let you know where you can find them on Facebook. And Marcia is taking care of her clients as she should. That's okay, my dear friend. How are you?
Excellent.
Things are going good?
Yes, extremely well.
Extremely well is good.
Yes, we can't complain at all.
If people wanted to become part of this co-op, is there information on the website?
No,
But
we don't have a website, but Facebook.
Facebook.
We are an artist co-op,
Uh-huh.
so there's a fee to join,
There's a fee to join.
which is paid annually as well, and 1,000 pesos a month rent,
Uh-huh.
and we spread that out, pay all the expenses, and here we are.
Excellent.
And we don't charge commission, so what the prices that you see is what our artist gets.
Uh-huh. And do you take turns taking care of the place and things like that, or?
No, Kim and I take care of everything. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Sell. Do your thing. Meanwhile, I'm just going to say goodbye and let you guys know that, one of the nice things about a place like this is that you can support local artists doing wonderful things. So if you find yourselves here in downtown Puerto Vallarta, come check it out. This is called Arte Viviente, and they have a Facebook page, which I discovered. 50 plus artists are selling their stuff here, and we call it chingaderas in the most beautiful, loving way. This is our walk for today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Between now and the next one, have a great day.
Yay, have a great day. Well, okay, so before before we dive into comments and this and that, let me remind you that we use the word chingaderas in the most loving way. But let me also remind you that chingaderas can be very offensive if it's taken out of context. I am a bad influence, I must confess, because I use the word all the time, but I use it very carefully. I wouldn't be surprised if any of those artists that were showing their work there might turn around and say, well, why does he call them chingaderas? And again, I call them chingaderas just because it's a bunch of stuff. I don't mean to imply that they're bad things in any way, shape, or form. Now, let us dive into all your wonderful comments. I saw some very interesting comments along the way from the very beginning of the broadcast. So let us see who's here. This is good. Listening in the sky on my way to DC, says Lisa. That's wonderful. I haven't been on a plane in a long time, so it's nice to know that my voice is in the sky. How funny is that? Christy is in San Mateo, home of the baby raccoons. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's see what else. I go out walking after midnight. Oh, Michael has Patsy Cline on his mind. That's a good thing to have in your mind, actually. Little Rain in Emiliano Zapata. Oh, how wonderful. That's great to know. Let's see what else. Good morning, Paco. I like the new format. Nice to see that you are well. No COVID problems. Oh, no. I can smell my farts without a problem, Linda. I always get worried when I cannot smell what's coming out of my butthole, because to me, that means that I may have it. But no, I don't have it. Ramona, I'm so glad you're here from Michigan. Please enjoy your time in our city. Let's see what else we have. So many of you are here. This is so wonderful. My friend Joey and Isaac, I love it when they watch. They are the publishers of Gay Guide Vallarta, and I love them. And we're going to be talking about gay pride at some point in the near future. I've already reached out to them so that we can put together a little interview about what we can expect for gay pride this year here in Puerto Vallarta. Mihal reports lovely rain last night, and she lives 2 blocks away from me. I was asleep. I missed it, but I'm so glad that rain is starting to manifest itself. Oh, Brett, I'm not going to put that on the screen, but I hear you. Oh, what the heck. I wouldn't fart wild or otherwise so soon after the tummy problems. Well, let's just say that I'm glad that I'm doing okay. That's what I'm going to say. Araceli, the cookie lady's here. Please buy cookies from Araceli when you see her walking down the street. She is absolutely wonderful. Mi tocayo, Paco Moraz, it's great to see you. You know, tocayo is someone whose first name is the same as yours. So Paco and I are tocayos, which would be the equivalent of having a buddy whose name happens to be the same as yours. That's a word we don't have in English, do we? Do we have a word in English for two buddies that share the same name? I don't think so. In Spanish, we call ourselves tocayos. Let's see what else we have. Gary, I am so glad you enjoyed El Baile de los 41. Again, every time you remind me that you enjoyed something that was shared here, you fuel my soul in ways that you cannot possibly imagine. This is a very well-performed film, well-produced film, and it should be of historical curiosity and interest for anyone, regardless of whether you're gay or straight or into tacos al pastor. Let's see what else we have. To be honest, having spent so long being masked, it will be hard to stop wearing it when I go back to the U.S. That said, I live here permanently and will continue to wear my mask and take precautions. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that, Lynn. Again, it gets complicated this time of the process, because there are people that already can take certain liberties because of the vaccine and others cannot. Let us hope that we can continue to show patience and a good attitude about the guidelines. Let's see what else we have. We're now in the comments about the dancing. I love it. And perhaps remind foreign tourists of the guidelines in the state, Jalisco, regardless of their vaccination status. Well, again, Catherine, we are a bunch of locals, and so we do what we can. Hopefully, the government and businesses will put like beautiful, kind, loving signs in their shops saying, if you're visiting here from the United States, congratulations, but please wear a mask while you're here. Um, let's see what else we. David comments on the closing of the street. A good day to order pollo feliz for delivery instead of pickup. Well, they're pretty respectful of the sidewalks, Dave. It's not like one cannot walk by. Your chicken, your takeout chicken might be a little dusty, but you can still probably buy at Pollo Feliz. In fact, this is a time where these businesses that are in the streets that are being fixed, they need our support as much as possible. Let's see what else we have. Marsha, says Joey, I have to say, now talking about the co-op in Arte Viviente, Marsha is one of the most hardworking individuals in this town. I've had the privilege to know her from the very first day that I arrived in Puerto Vallarta. We sat at the same dinner table, even though we didn't even know each other. And through the years, I've had the pleasure of collaborating with Marsha. I know that she is one of the most hardworking people. She's wanted this project of co-op art being sold for many years. Certainly after her work was on display at the Marsol Hotel, and then they went downtown, and now they have this gorgeous location. It really shows how when you really are set out to do something and you're determined to make it right, it happens. And I am so happy to have walked Arte Viviente and have seen all the wonderful choices of stuff that one can purchase there. Let's see what else we have. Chingaderlandia, absolutely, Dave. But remember, we have to use the word kindly and carefully. Let's see what else. Dan, thank you very much for that. Yes, this would unfortunately be a difficult space to manage if you need a wheelchair to get about. Angelo says, thanks for doing the walk. My work is all over there. Let's buy bread. I say, Angelo, let's buy a cup of coffee first. How about that? Buy me a coffee. Let's see what else. Look at all those chingaderas. Can't wait to visit. There is a lot there's just so much stuff. It really takes spending some time in there to discover all the wonderful things that are being sold at Arte Viviente. Let's see what else. Paula missed the address. Well, that's the beautiful thing about the show notes, Paula. You can always rest assured that you will have that kind of information in the show notes. Although I did notice that somebody shared the location with you in the comments as well. And that was Mushi. Thank you very much. Is this new or well known? Lynn, it is a great question. It is not new. It is as well known as word of mouth and publicity allows. Unfortunately, that's the beautiful thing about Puerto Vallarta, and that's the curse of Puerto Vallarta, or any city for that matter. There are all these treasures to be found at different venues and locations and so forth and so on. And awareness goes hand in hand with how much publicity is invested in getting the word out there. Here at Coffee and Headlines, as you know, we don't have advertisers, but whenever we see a good thing and it is in our power to spread the word, we are happy to do it just because it's putting good things out there. So I hope you'll give it a chance. I hope you go check it out at some point. Michal says, I feel that I need that small, colorful table. Well, it's there for the grab. And somebody has mentioned, thank you, Julie. Julie mentions the name of the artist that is responsible for the colorful tables, Paul Kanker. Let's see what else. No commissions. That is wonderful for the artist. Well, yes. Again, this is a well thought out project from what I got from Marsha. Apparently, a monthly amount gets paid for the privilege, and that monthly amount must be the equivalent of being able to pay for rent and expenses and bills, and everything else goes back to the artist. I think that's a beautiful thing. But again, if you want to find out more about all those details and how to become involved in one way or another, the best thing would be to contact their Facebook page, which you will find in the show notes, or talk to Marcia directly. Let's see what else. Mushi has just moved into town, but she's already becoming industrious, opening a South Shore tienda called Conchas Chingaderas. Okay, not bad. Carmen, it's always a pleasure to see you here. I noticed that you sent me a message just before the show. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I will take a look at it in a little while. Christy saw the film as well. Again, you make my day. Thank you very much for that remark. Colleen asks, where is the new Arte Viviente located? It's located in the show notes. Let's see what else. I think a big reason your show is so great is because you keep your sense of wonder and enthusiasm. Thank you very much, Dan. To me, if you go out on the street like thinking, oh, I've seen it all, it's not fun. And this is one of the reasons why, for example, I'd like to go and spend quality time every now and then with people that have not seen something before, because when you get to see something through the eyes of someone that has not seen it before, you can always end up looking at things that you have otherwise missed with your very own eyes. Can I show you the location on the map? Says Lynn. My goodness, let us find Arte Viviente right now. But of course, you could just as easily do what I'm about to do. In fact, here, let's learn some geekiness. I'm going to go into maps.google.com. And here we are. And I'm going to click on look in Google Maps. And I'm going to type Arte Viviente. And, bummer. Arte Viviente is still showing up in the old look. Oh, there. I think that's the one. Arte Viviente still shows up in 2 locations in Puerto Vallarta. And no, that's not where it is. So Arte Viviente is not even on the map yet. So this is homework for the people that run the place, for Marcia. You need to get yourself on the Google map because you are not listed there. It's not difficult to do, but again, you will have all the information in the show notes so that you can find the place. And I think this brings us to the end of our remarks and the end of today's broadcast. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about education in Mexico. I saw a headline yesterday that I found really troubling about the salaries that teachers make here in Mexico. And that got me thinking about other things that I feel compelled to share with you, because it'll give us some perspective as to why people behave the way they behave, how much education there is, how many people go to school in Mexico, how many people don't go to school, how easy it becomes for some people to become privileged about education and discriminate against those that don't have it. So tomorrow, if I get my research going on today, I will have some interesting things to share with you. But between now and then, stay kind, stay happy, stay connected, go shopping, go support local artists, and stay in touch. Come back soon. Have a great day.